Okay, so I have chosen a paintbrush, some colors that I want to paint with, and this is just here so that I can mix the color if I want to, or just get it on the brush because I'm thinking about this big brush and I don't usually use a big brush, but okay, what am I going to start out with here? I'm just making an abstract painting, probably. Or sometimes I make an abstract painting and it kind of ends up not being abstract when it gets done. I'm not sure where I'm going with these colors. I don't usually, this is a lot of colors. These kind of go along together. The black is different. And then there are two Prussian blues for some reason. I don't know why I even did that. And then red. I was thinking about getting a whole lot of red on this brush. Let's see here. Red, 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 red. I don't know what I'm doing entirely. I just wanted to kind of walk through in a video what I'm doing, even though I'm making it up as I go along. Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm going to go with red. All right. Let's see here. Although it might look more like a massacre. Okay. Here we have some gouache paint. Red gouache paint. And I am not a professional artist, but I do consider myself an artist. I learned art throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school. And then I took a long break from making art when I started going to college and started actually at the same time having some mental illness problems with my life. I had to drop out of college. It ended up taking 12 years for the full graduation from college. And actually, when I graduated, I had hardly made any art. Yeah, I had hardly made any art, but I've always enjoyed painting, and I did do a lot of it in my growing up years. And so I just kind of started picking it up again. And so it's actually been since then, it has been since, let's see, I graduated college in 2012, and I did start pretty soon after that making some art. And the first piece of art that I remember making was, it was like a picture of a blackberry leaf that I had taken my art supplies out into the backyard, and I had drawn a blackberry leaf with, but it was called Complementary Colors, that painting, because I used green when I saw red and I used red when I saw green. So I was kind of using the reverse of the color that I saw. And that was a real challenge. And I was just kind of, it was an idea that came to me and I ended up doing it. And it was a good painting. Be neat if I had it on here to show you all, and I do have it in my computer, and I'll make a video about this maybe with the painting in the video someday. But so I then made a bunch of silhouette men, which were these little kind of abstract colored silhouette figures that I liked. And I even wrote a book called Silhouette Man: The Adventures of Silhouette Man. And it was a children's book, and I had some illustrations in there that were kind of silly, but it's available on Amazon actually if anybody wants it. But so I did that in the next phase of art. And let's see here. I wrote another children's Urki. That's why I didn't like this brush, because of that. It kind of has hanging threads. So after Silhouette Man was written and published, I wrote Hojoki for Children. And Hojoki is about a man in a house and a river. And so I illustrated that. I made a bunch of river paintings, and that was a fun time to work on that. It was also challenging and interesting, so I was glad to get to do that. Let's see here. And then what did I do in my art? There were birds. Like I drew some birds. I did occasional abstract things and birds, and painted my own pet. There was a lot of painting. I think that I started with watercolor and acrylic, and then I started using gouache eventually. I guess it was 2020 when I started using gouache, because in 2020, I think, if my memory holds right, that was when I started doing my emotion oceans. So there were these ocean scenes. Some of them are actually right behind me, but you can't see me. They're behind me, but I often, like, whenever I make a video on here, they're in my background, and so some of them. So emotion ocean scenes with kind of waves that flow like this, except this is not an ocean. Maybe it should be. I don't know, but like a red ocean. So I made a bunch of ocean scenes, and are you gonna come out? Paint, come on. There you go. All right. I made all of these ocean scenes, and they were just like a flow of emotion. Like, I wasn't painting from a picture, it was just a flow of emotion, kind of like what you're seeing on here. Just like whatever moved me, like whatever moved me, and that was how I did them. And I don't know if they were good or not, but they were whatever moved me. And you could see some emotion in them, and that was one of the reasons that I was doing them. And then, I mean, since 2020, I did those the whole way through, but the emotion oceans. But I also I did some abstract at that point. I started doing, somebody encouraged me to do more abstract, and I really like abstract, which is probably what this is. Sometimes I'm doing abstract and then I'm like, that looks exactly like a raven. And I make it into a raven, but, or whatever it looks like. But This is probably just abstract. I'm just kind of enjoying making art, and it is maybe debatably art. But let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the water, that brush. I'm thinking either I'm gonna get some black or some Prussian blue. Both have pros and cons. And black has one, actually. I almost always Prussian blue is my go-to color, but today I'm gonna get some black because I'm thinking I'm gonna have a small brush in here, and I'm just gonna use some black and see what goes on the surface of this painting. I know I should probably let it dry if I'm gonna go over this red and these colors that are on the page with black, but I kind of believe in mistakes, and I'm kind of letting it be a mistake that I make to not let this dry yet. There's a little bit of that paintbrush's bristle in this. Well, okay. What am I going for? Why did I get black? Let's see here. It could be that I add. I usually don't think. I usually just draw. So maybe I should just do that. Okay. The sound's still on. I don't know. I just stopped talking because needed to think for a minute. I think that's. I know that people view art in different ways, but for a minute, I'm just going to either say I am done with this painting or I'm going to let it sit for a minute. So sometimes I think that calling it quits with art, like when you know when you're done with something, it kind of helps the situation of what you are making, makes the art better. And sometimes when you take a pause, it helps. Um, in this case, I'm either done with this painting or not, but I'm definitely done with this video. So, okay, have a good day. Bye.